All right. Let's check this out. If a cop pulls over a real sergeant. Okay. Let's see. What's gonna happen with
In
this.
September
Sounds interesting.
2023, an on-duty sergeant from the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department was traveling through a construction zone in his unmarked squad car when he spotted a Ford Explorer that closely resembled Indiana State Police vehicles. The driver, 23-year-old Jonathan Becker, wore a neon green uniform shirt with patches.
He's one now, like
23-year-old Jonathan Becker.
look. I don't know. Something just tells me if I would have saw someone like that. I don't know. Would y'all take that serious? Like, if you saw someone that looked like that, would you think? I don't know. That's just me. But
Wore a neon green uniform shirt with patches, similar to Indiana law enforcement attire. Jonathan soon pulled in behind the sergeant and activated his white and amber emergency lights, signaling what appeared to be a traffic stop. In response, the sergeant pulled over, but Jonathan continued driving, turned off the lights, and was later seen in another construction area with workers dressed in similar.
bruh, he actually got coffee, like he one of them. That's hilarious.
attire. The sergeant asked Jonathan if he was a police officer, but Jonathan denied it and accused the sergeant of speeding in the construction zone.
What?
While they argued, the sergeant called for assistance from uniformed officers.
Okay.
As they spoke, the sergeant noticed John's tactical belt had a radio mic, a key ring with an Indiana State Police logo, and a black whistle, items
Bruh.
commonly used by police officers.
Are you a police officer in the state of Indiana?
I already answered this question. I'm not answering it again. I already told you. Okay. So you have no answer.
Wait,
left.
don't look for
Stop playing games.
There's no games here.
Okay. Then I already answered that question. 5 or 6.
What?
Well, the reason I asked you before.
Dang, he pressing him?
I already told you my answer. Stop asking.
You told me you're not a police officer.
I already
You
answered that
understand
question.
why I stopped to talk to you, correct?
Yeah, because you flew past me going 80 miles an hour in a post of 55.
Okay.
What the heck?
How do I know you're not on your way to the call because your lights are on?
He got some. I'm wondering if he.
A police car, a marked police car. And then you put your badge on to talk to me.
Correct.
And your gun.
I didn't put my gun on. I have my gun with me because I'm a police officer.
Alright, well, I didn't see your badge on.
When I went by you in the car, you mean?
Yep. You put it on to come talk to me?
Correct. Because I wanted to make sure that you knew that before I just come up and start talking to you what was going on.
Alright.
Okay?
Alright, go run me. Let's get this over with.
Do you understand what's happening here and why I'm here to talk to you?
Nope.
You don't understand?
Nope.
Okay. Do you have responsibilities enforcing traffic law on those?
I'm a flagger.
Okay. Do you have responsibilities to enforce speeding law on the
Oh,
interstate?
man.
Whenever we're in a construction zone, I do whatever they tell me to do.
Okay. Has anybody tasked you with the responsibility to flash your lights at motorists on the road and tell them to slow down while you're driving?
What do we do?
Okay, what you're doing right now is stationary on the side of the road, trying to ensure the safety of people in a construction zone, right?
Yep.
Okay. You understand the difference between the motoring public on 465, which is a busy interstate in Indianapolis.
I don't know what your point is here.
Okay. My point is, let's step back and look. Okay. Would you agree that some people might think this looks like a police car or some kind of emergency vehicle?
It's a traffic control car. Just
Okay.
like
Me,
Okay.
it does look like it because it has the lights and all
we all
that.
use
Which is
different
why I
types of
asked you
vehicles.
why you are essentially trying to enforce traffic law on the interstate.
Who said I was trying to do that?
Did you not activate your lights? What you said to slow me down?
I did not.
You didn't activate your lights?
Nope. And there's a witness.
Okay.
Wherever he went.
You didn't activate these lights right in the front of your car?
Nope. My strobe lights, I did not.
Okay, what lights did you activate?
I didn't activate any lights.
Okay, so there's
Do you have any proof that I did?
two different stories you've given me. You said before it wasn't your strobes, it's your I-beams.
Well, you said strobes. You told the Lawrence officer I thought it was strobes.
Okay, these lights are right in the front that are
Did I clock my
strobing.
strobes? So now you have two different stories, okay?
Dang. Throwing it back out. He crazy.
I'm asking you what you
Okay.
activated, and you said you didn't activate
All right,
anything,
I'm
which is
done
not
talking.
accurate. Okay.
I'll talk to somebody else.
Have you ever been arrested?
I'll talk to somebody else. But I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, you know what's up.
Somebody else.
Have you ever been arrested?
You ever been arrested? You know what time it is. Be saying that. I don't know if he got the message. Like, nah, he ain't about to, I think in his head he's like, nah, he ain't about to do anything.
I'll talk to somebody else, but I'm not talking to you.
Hey, is your laptop? Or do you have, well, you don't have one in there.
Yeah, I got one. I'm the mark behind him.
John explained that he owns Indiana Traffic Operations, a company specializing in traffic control at construction sites to ensure the safety of construction crews.
I have plenty of guys that work with me. Cops, IPD guys, so they can vouch for me that.
So now he's the owner?
Doing traffic, that's all I do. It's not like I'm not doing anything. He saw the whole thing. I don't know what he's trying to gain out of it.
Do you have your ID on you? You need it? Well, he's saying you're a witness to this whole thing, so I should probably get it.
This dude, he drives by in his Jeep. We're going what? 60? And it's a 55 on Caitlin.
It was also discovered John was on probation for unlawful display of emergency lights on a vehicle.
Mr. Becker, is your driver's license?
Bro, you serious?
Probation?
Yeah.
You're on probation in
And he gon'
Hancock County?
You already know the
What are
answer.
you on probation for?
You already know the answer to that question. You know, so you already know.
Okay. What do you think he's on?
You already know the answer to everything. I don't know why they asking him that question.
It's not improper either.
He acting like they looked him up and
I'm here
everything.
to write you a ticket.
Okay, I know
What
that,
do you
but-
think the odds are that of
Okay,
all
hold
people?
on. Reverse. You said improper use. What did it say? Now you're implying to him that I use red and blue light.
I didn't imply anything.
You just told him, and so
You're
now
on.
everyone thinks they're.
Did you flash your lights when you were behind him?
No, I didn't.
Of emergency
I
lights
didn't.
on a
He
vehicle.
flew past.
Well, you're
He
not
flew
the police.
past me.
So guess what? If somebody flies past you, call the police.
What do you think the odds are that of all the people that I stopped to talk to for flashing their lights on the interstate?
He didn't flash him, but
Whatever you want to call it.
he
bud,
flew by me
okay?
at 80
You're on-
miles
you're
an
on
hour, which
probation
would make
for unlawful display of
a
emergency
reason
lights
for us
on
to
a
believe that
vehicle.
he.
I'm not rocking with a lot of this AI stuff.
Yeah, that's
AI
crazy
on
though.
looks, Now that's a vibe.
Did
So,
something about it.
Yes, you probably know a lot about the statute.
I
But you
do.
probably, if you're on probation for that, shouldn't be on the interstate trying to slow traffic down. And this is your lucky day that the car that you try to do that to happens to be an unmarked police officer who happens to be working. Okay? So don't give me a hard time when you're on probation for something
Don't touch
related.
my car.
Okay?
I'm not
Ooh.
touching your car. Stop touching my car.
You're lucky I don't tow it, which is within my purview.
Okay.
Okay? I'm gonna
He
tell
don't
you
believe
what I'm
him. He
gonna
like,
do.
yeah, you ain't
After
gonna
I
do it.
You have this gentleman's information. I'm gonna make a police report.
Okay. Make
How
a
that
report.
how that handles anything for your business based on what your current status is, I do not know. What is your probation officer's name?
I have to look at it.
You don't know who your probation officer is?
I think it's still guy. I have to check in with him
Okay.
maybe once a month, so I don't even.
No problem. My suggestion to you is this is probably a bad idea. Your intentions may have been good, but bad things happen when people start down that road. And I'm not talking about you having to flash them at a police officer. I'm talking about people get pissed off. I legitimately was doing something that you have no idea what I'm doing. That's what we do for a living. It was
Dang,
just your
echo
bad
on
luck
his.
That happened to be what I do for a living. Okay?
What? Drive 80 miles an hour in a 55, and then we've been out of traffic.
I'm not going to take advice from
I'm
somebody
just-
on
I'm just
probation for
asking
this,
you,
okay?
'cause
I'm
you're-
not here.
Dang, was he speeding?
If you're in like an unmarked.
They need to show us that footage.
Alright, cool.
Was he speeding?
COVID investigation.
The sergeant was speeding.
Yes.
Okay.
What we do, I'll tell you what I do for a living.
I heard COVID, so I was just
No,
like,
I don't go after COVID violators, okay?
He's tried to cut him so many breaks. I was mad when I heard about this. I wasn't even here.
We go after people. We do gun crime investigations. I need people to not know that I'm the police. That's what we do for a living. So, no, I don't normally waste any of my time, but you piqued my curiosity, flashing your lights at me. I understand now you say you didn't flash any lights or whatever, and it must have just been my random luck that I came up here to talk to you and you happen to be on probation. I have no idea who you are. I have nothing against you. I'm just telling you, it's a bad idea to be on the interstate flashing your lights at people.
I'd see this car like flying. Are they together? Is this,
The skinny one with glasses drives that.
Somebody did.
He does have red.
Yeah.
It's a crazy situation, bro.
But I've seen him at the crew car wash, and I could have swear I saw
it's pretty-
steady burns that are red and blue.
It's like it's clear what they're doing. Like you're wearing you got a thin blue line plate cover. You're wearing a thin blue line hat. Like
Come on, man. We all know, whether you want to admit it or not, what you're trying to do. There's a place
What am
for
I
that.
trying to do?
Apparently, based on what you're saying, you're trying to get me to slow down, okay? It's not your job, unfortunately, today. Maybe it will be in the
Today.
future.
Driving like
What
that.
about tomorrow and the next day after that?
You don't know what I'm
No,
doing.
it's not my fault. But you, as
So
a
then
police
don't do
officer,
it.
you should be driving with due regard. And that was not due regard. And I'm sure he can vouch for me. That was not due regard.
if I saw this car coming up behind me and I couldn't see the plate, I couldn't see the lights, I would 100% think it was a cop, like an out of county cop.
Weaving
Mr.
in and out.
Becker,
Oh, no. Hold on.
listen
You
to
and I
me.
do-
Dang, that's crazy. So he got a car.
It's not your place.
Yeah, because you should know better.
You don't
His
know
car
what I
looks
was doing.
very similar to a
So what was I
police
doing?
car.
Explain to me what I was doing.
That's crazy.
Out of traffic,
No.
no signal and speeding.
What was I
with
doing?
no due regard.
What was I looking for?
I don't care what you were looking for.
How? So that is
You're
not your
driving with
place.
no due regard.
That is not accurate. How do you know?
Exactly.
Was I
So maybe you
following a
should have
murder
somebody-
suspect?
So maybe
Was I following a murder suspect?
that's your business.
Was I following a murder suspect?
Obviously not. You were
Was I
following
following?
me
How do you know?
because you followed me here.
How do you
You
know?
follow that murder suspect. You'd be following him right now.
You
You
make
were following me,
You make
right?
my point for me, okay? Your actions, okay? Look it up. In the state of Indiana, when you take action and cause someone to take another action, okay? When you take action like on the interstate, flipping your lights on like this, you cause a chain reaction. You don't know what I was doing, okay? You didn't know I was a police officer. You just thought I was somebody driving on the interstate, coming off the interstate onto Shadeland, right? What I'm saying is it's not your place to enforce those traffic laws. I understand your heart, your intention might have been in the right place. I don't know. I have no idea what your deal is with Hancock County. What I'm saying is that's a bad idea. As it turns out, you're trying
That's
to
how they get down in Indiana.
You don't know what our
Random people be acting like they police,
You guys do your thing.
directing traffic and everything.
All right. That's all I want. All right.
That's crazy.
It's not your place.
It's not your plate. You're a citizen. I'm sorry. You can drive down the street and want it all
So,
day.
I'm
It's not your job.
I'm not asking you to give me a lecture. I'm here just explaining to you. Actually, I was out here working. I understand now. You think, whatever, I'm wasting my time here.
Okay, but you get where I'm coming from, right? I just see some
You
jackass
understand? I don't
driving
like.
down the road. Going 50.
It doesn't matter. It's not your job.
I'm not going to give you a ticket, okay?
Yeah, jackass.
I suppose I could. I haven't been
Doing
to South Florida
80
in a long time. I know where it's at. I know how to give
on
a
the
ticket.
55.
They're expensive now, and I'm not trying to tax you like that, okay? You have to understand, you're trying to, in this conversation, justify what you're saying you're not doing. Anyway, I'm going to snap a couple pictures of your vehicle. I've already got your information. You're free to go. Do you have any questions for me?
I'll just need a copy of your business card.
I'm surprised he didn't say, "Now you're under arrest," or "I should get your information." You're reacting like he acting like he the cop. I'm surprised he didn't do that. Do something like that. Or I'm surprised he actually ain't pressing him, but I guess it's the other people around him. I wonder if it was just him, them two. He would probably try something.
I don't have a business card with me. I've already told you my name. I'm making a report.
But you have to copy the report.
I do not provide copies of the report. You have a report number. Could you just pull a number and then write it down for us?
You just run it 3012 as an organizational plate,
No, it took me a while to get it, but it is like an LF plate.
like a
is the
supporter
code.
plate.
No, it's a law enforcement plate.
Just
Yeah.
humor me and run it 3012 on an OR.
Yeah, it has to be.
That's crazy. What?
3012 on an OR.
Yeah, it has to be.
What the? Just
Yeah.
Let me see.
No, it's a law enforcement plate.
Dang. I thought technically I thought you were supposed to get under arrest, or is that I think that's if you trying to act like you're special forces or something like that. I thought you were supposed to or the army. I thought they're supposed to arrest you if you try to act like you're army or like special agent, but dang, this man got the license plate as well. The only difference is, I guess, you don't have this little thing. It's kind of blurred out. I think it says state police, but that is crazy.
Just humor me and run it 3012 on an OR.
You know what? I just thought about this. I hope this man got to be doing it for free too. That is insane. He doing this for free.
3012.
Did he say how he
Oh,
has
yeah.
what was it, like Warren, like Michigan City or whatever it was?
Yeah, so Warren County, Williamsport is way out west, damn near to
Did he
Illinois.
say how he has that plate?
I don't know, but this comes back on a Brown 2000. That thing is not 2000.
John claimed he purchased the vehicle several months prior, along with the equipment inside. Officers observed a radar gun, a radio box, light siren box, and a mounted computer in plain view, all of which appeared clean and functional.
It's your.
Mounted computer in plain view.
Is that his?
All of which appeared
Bruh, that
clean
is
and functional.
insane that
It's your.
someone is actually trying to act like they're
If it's over 30 days.
they're police. And he doing this for free still? That's crazy.
Something with the date that you bought the car to show me that it's not older than 30 days.
Oh, I got a temp tag.
Perfect. Do you see what it says? Please display this portion in the rear vehicle window.
Mm.
Does it say anywhere on there to put a plate off of another car and just drive around with it? It doesn't.
Which you can do to say,
My bad.
My bad. My bad.
You gotta have the paperwork.
While retrieving the vehicle registration,
My
since
bad.
the plates were linked to a different vehicle, officers noticed a Glock magazine, 2 pairs of handcuffs in the passenger door, and what appeared to be tactical vest and body armor in the back seat.
It's a handcuff.
Recording.
Oh, okay.
You do security. Do you understand that doing security means you cannot put someone in handcuffs? That's what the police. That's what the real police do. Is put people in handcuffs.
Yeah, I understand that.
There's no firearm in here, but there's a magazine.
Hey,
and bullets.
wait.
I understand that.
There's no firearm in here, but there's a magazine.
How you? This is crazy. You would think when you imitate, if someone imitates the police or anything like that, the cops, they would have a gun. This man don't have a gun, but he has bullets. That's crazy. And that's still going through my head. He's still doing this for free. They said magazines and bullets. But nope. I can't believe this. I hope this is not what a lot of people be doing in Indiana, because that's insane.
Yeah, well, I got obviously clean this out because I just transferred everything to my other car, but there's no gun. I have a Glock. It's 19.
Where's it at?
Because I can't carry it, right? Because I'm on probation.
Oh,
You know your business better than us.
Okay, well,
okay, so you got, that's still insane. Then why would you imitate?
I don't have a firearm.
I don't know what's going on,
I
bro.
don't know the conditions of your probation. There's probably people who have conditions of probation that say, like, if I'm working, I can. Maybe across the board. I mean, it's only a C misdemeanor that you're on probation for, so I don't know that I've ever encountered somebody on probation for a C misdemeanor, so, and I don't do probation, so I'm just going to say you probably know your business and your risk better than, sure it's there, but I'm going to go down that route. Have a nice day.
As the sergeant and officers left the area, John was seen taking pictures of their vehicles. Given the odd and suspicious nature of the situation, the sergeant decided to dig further. After the incident, the sergeant reached out to other law enforcement agencies to see if they were aware of similar interactions with John. He received a photograph from June 2022 showing John directing traffic for churchgoers leaving a service. The photo had been taken by someone who was concerned that the vehicle John was using resembled a fake Indiana State Police vehicle.
That's crazy.
The investigation deepened as the sergeant reviewed footage from August 2022, recorded during the funeral procession of an Elwood police officer killed in the line of duty. Amid the procession of police vehicles with flashing emergency lights, one vehicle stood out. A car operated by John, equipped with red and white emergency lights bearing a license plate that read, Indiana Traffic Operations. However, the sergeant would soon learn that John made his day-to-day activities well known to the world. Police discovered numerous photos on his public Facebook profile showing him dressed in attire similar to law enforcement uniforms. His bio listed him as the owner of Indiana Traffic Operations LLC since September 2022, though he later removed this information. Among his posts on his page was a photo of John changing a flat tire, but what drew attention was his utility belt, which clearly displayed a firearm. Police subsequently reviewed John's TikTok page, Indy Traffic
This
Cops,
man got it.
which contained hundreds of videos showcasing police vehicles, including his own fleet. In one video, John proudly displayed the interior of a Dodge Charger equipped with emergency lights, and a silver IMPD police badge was visible. While these badges were never publicly available, they could be acquired by retiring officers. Following the incident where he pulled over the sergeant, John appeared to change his TikTok username. Additionally, police found his company's Facebook page, where several posts featured law enforcement-related hashtags. The investigating sergeant believed these posts conveyed a misleading impression that Indiana Traffic Operations was connected to official law enforcement agencies or activities. The company's website was also reviewed, revealing several professionally taken photos of
That's
John.
insane. They
The
actually have a
sergeant particularly
website.
noted the images where John was standing in a public roadway, directing or possibly
He actually has a
obstructing
website.
traffic,
That's crazy.
despite there being no apparent reason for his presence there. In addition, police found John's Instagram page, where his bio stated he was the owner of a page called Law Enforcement's. The account featured over 2,000 posts displaying law enforcement-related vehicles. The sergeant conducted a record search too, and confirmed John had never been a police officer with the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department or any other agency. However, he had participated in the IMPD's Explorer program as a high school student in 2016, a detail confirmed by old YouTube videos on his channel,
Let me guess,
along with
he
other
couldn't-
law enforcement-related content.
Let me guess, he couldn't get into the police academy or something like that.
With that, his interactions with real police officers stretch back to 2021, when John was stopped for operating a silver Dodge Charger, outfitted with equipment mimicking that of unmarked police vehicles. Items like handcuffs and an Ohio State Highway Patrol sticker were discovered. John was cited and warned about driving a vehicle designed to impersonate law enforcement. By April 2023, John was stopped again, this time for moving violations. A different Dodge Charger, now with state police-style decals, carried a firearm on the passenger seat and tools associated with emergency responders. When officers asked John at the time about the color of the lights on the Charger, he replied, "Get a warrant." In May 2023, the sergeant reviewed. He
That's what
replied, "Get a warrant." Officers asked John at the time about the color of the lights on the Charger. He replied,
Get a warrant.
"Get a warrant." In May 2023, the sergeant reviewed footage from another agency showing John arriving at an accident scene before first responders. He blocked a lane of traffic and walked freely among injured parties, police officers, and firefighters. At one point in the footage, both a police sergeant and
That's
a firefighter
crazy.
appeared confused about John's identity and his presence at the scene. The investigation also revealed John had owned 22 vehicle titles, most of which were police models. Only 4 were active at the time of the inquiry. Based on several of these factors, the investigating sergeant who was initially pulled over by John concluded that John had falsely portrayed himself as a law enforcement officer. On October 17th, 2023, the state of Indiana filed a probable cause affidavit. After a review, probable cause was established and a warrant for John's arrest was issued. The following day, records show that John had been taken into custody.
That's crazy, bro.
Ultimately, John was charged with impersonation of a public servant, a level 6 felony offense.
Okay,
He
that's
had
what I was
also
thinking.
received a Class C infraction for operating a motor vehicle with a false plate, and he was released a few days later on a $250 cash bond. But the story didn't
Wow.
end there. Just over a year later, John dug himself into deeper shit. He was arrested once again, this time for felony impersonation of a public servant and unlawfully carrying a handgun in his white Ford F-150, a newer addition to his
This
fleet
man,
that he had
okay.
proudly showcased on his TikTok page shortly before the arrest. I think this ship has sailed, but why didn't he just apply to be a police officer?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Visit BlueCam.com and treat your family, friends, and enemies.
But that's insane, bro. What the? Now thinking about it, he was probably making I don't know if he was. I guess it depends what type, how much. I don't know if he made a YouTube or anything like that. I don't know if he was actually making some money off of the content that he posted. But that is insane. If he didn't, then that means he was doing all this for free, for no reason, wasting his time. That you might as well just go to the police academy. I don't know, but let me know what y'all think. This is insane to me, but till next time.